It is important to know that words don't move mountains. Work, exacting work, moves mountains. Danielo Dolce. Hello, welcome back, Earth Signs, to Firefly Moon Channel, the tarot channel for all things moon sign related and moon cyclical related. So, starting off, this is the full moon in Virgo. The spinner's moon. So all you Virgos out there, this is your moon, which means that you are going to feel the effects of it much deeper. Now, Virgo, just a little bit about obviously you, and for those of you who don't know a little bit about Virgo. So this moon is represented by Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, logic, reasoning, sometimes the ability to rationalize or over rationalize, one would say. Virgo rules the sixth house, which is the house of health, work, and service. And it also represents how we meet adversity. And when I say work and service, these things are connected in the sense of achieving a certain level of service, like providing service through your action of work. It doesn't have to be career. I mean, you could literally work in a job that you earn money in, but the service that you provide, possibly by volunteering in some way, actually represents a lot more of you and making you happy and keeping you healthy, mental health, spiritual health as well. Because if those things go, that's when your physical health starts diminishing. The element obviously is earth, which is why this is the earth sign reading. Your fellow earth brothers and sisters are going to be Taurus and Capricorn. The tarot card in which it represents is the Hermit, the number 9. So it's a card that kind of represents a need to conserve and to concentrate, right? Your energy into a specific thing. So this Virgo's moon, full moon, in that is referred to as a spinner's moon. The spinner, it makes the thread of life for each person. So it's kind of how you, which is, I mean, which is why there could be like, it may be your earth sign friends that make those pronouncements that you would say like that by, let's, I want my first boyfriend or girlfriend by the age of 12, my first real boyfriend, girlfriend, or by the age of 13, or I want this car when I'm 18, and I want to get my bachelor's degree by the time I'm 21, finish earlier, have that house by 28, and the family and kids by 26. It's just like you literally could, you spin this web by laying the strings out, right? By weaving this pattern that you want created. And obviously not just you. This moon represents that energy of trying to formulate a strategy in which to achieve a higher building block of connections, right? This is also interlinked with, at this time, you may feel like if you are unhappy at your job, this can be a very tough moon to get through, because you want to achieve so much more. Like the energy around you is telling you that, or inspiring you that you want to achieve more value through your work, that there's a lot more of your agency that wants to be represented in what you do. And you could feel that it's actually hindering your agency, your identity, your growth, right? So it could be a double-edged sword. If you're unhappy where you are, this is going to try and push you in other directions. Now, I would not be irrational during this time. Earth signs are still very grounded in the sense that they want to maintain their income stream. If they have certain responsibilities, they're not going to, be as likely to just, leave their situation and move to a foreign country because they think it will make them happy. Also, there could be a tendency to not ask for help, for help and things, or thinking that you are a one man, one woman team. You can't rely on anyone, and none of that is true. I've said it before. No one gets through life on their own. When people say that I've achieved this and I've achieved it all on your own, all on my own, like, no, you didn't. There was always someone helping you. The clothes you wear, you did not go out and pick the cotton for it, or you did not thread the silicone to go into it. You didn't even probably sew it all yourself. Now, I mean, even if you did sew clothes together, you didn't actually, like I said, pick the cotton, water the farms, transport it to a dyeing factory, dye the clothes. You know, like, you didn't get anywhere on your own. The water that is transmitted to you to drink every day, because we need water, salt, and air to breathe, you know, you didn't go down to the river every day and carry your water back for you, you know? I mean, even in the places that do that, it takes a village. Those places literally, they understand that it takes a village to get to where they are. So trying to do everything on your own, I think at this time, first off, you have never done anything on your own, and it's time to realize that. And it's all about learning that you achieve more when you create a team effort. So working together, mentorship, offering mentorship, seeking mentorship. There could be a web of obligations that you feel required to do at that time. And like I said, that could be causing a lot of emotional pressure on some of you, whereas that obligation might be what lights your fire and motivates you, right? So it can be both ways. There's ways to look at it. But either way, you don't do it on your own, because even if you are providing for people, that is still, you know, their energy is involved in that. Yeah, they have to be there for you to be able to do that, right? And there's kind of like it's, I mean, I don't want to sound cynical about this kind of attitude, but when you do someone a favor, or you help someone out, or you show someone your talents and your abilities, they can become dependent on coming to you for that assistance or advice, or they may owe you a favor for doing a favor for them, and that you like that. That's a nice penny to have in the bag, right? You know, a nice quarter to have in the callback section. Like, you know, so somebody owing you is something that Virgos, during this Virgo moon, Virgo specifically, Earth sign, second specifically, enjoy having, right? So this is really a time, I mean, I'll just close out before I get into the reading. It's a time for creating an environment that combines useful work and friendly bonds. Now, if those areas of your life are struggling at this time, it could be that you're out of sync with what, you know, like I said, if you're unhappy where you are, or if your work is not providing the type of service that you feel makes you whole, that represents your agency. So don't go running off on a cliff and throw your life away and start something completely new. You know, try and just work through it by a different angle. Like it says, you don't have to do it alone. Try asking more people for help, or try joining more groups that maybe represent your service. Try building support groups or support networks or anything like that. All right, I am going to go into your reading now, Earth signs. I have cleansed your cards and meditated on the space. It cycles. I'm feeling cycles. Just cycles. Cycles, all about cycles. So I'm going to get the starting 4 cards to give the overall energy of all the Earth signs. Okay. Oh, cycles, the ending of cycles. So this really kind of like, this came up out, or this flew out, and I was wondering if I asked Spirit, like before I did this, like the last time I shuffled these cards, and this one flew out alone, and you know, I asked Spirit as well, like, okay, if was this just a message for me, you know, because I was doing it in my spare time, or is that a message that I need to take into the reading? And I decided, I'm glad I decided to mention the cycles thing before we got too far into it. Oh, it looks like there's 5 cards. Because I got a message that it's not just about me. It's not just me. So some of you might be, this is the ending of a cycle. And like when I would say, some of you like just don't jump off, you know, the cliff into an unknown territory. I am going to start by saying that some of you might have to. This might be for your own health and mental and spiritual well-being. You may have to identify a toxic situation, and I'm not going to say toxic. You may have to identify a situation in where you aren't fulfilling your full potential as you, as you know, not just what you can do, but how you can do it and how you interact in the space in which you are able to, you know, live your full potential. Sorry, I'm just going to. So I'm going to go now into Taurus. Taurus, spirit guides, guardians, angels, please guide our Taurus. What do they need to know during this spinner's moon for their highest good? Messages for our Taurus during this Virgo full moon. What do they need to know? What messages do I need to relay to them? Our Taurus moons. 4th house energy for Taurus. 4th house energy for Taurus during this 6th house time. Read this one. Okay. Virgos. Please, spirit guides, guardians, angels. What do Virgos need to know during this Virgo full moon? What kind of messages do I need to relay to our Virgo moons in the house during the spinner's moon? I think there was something else I had to say. This is the last full moon in winter. I'm going to repeat that again because I might edit the whole shuffling of the cards out just to save time, you know, and just go directly to the readings. Virgo, what is the final message for Virgo at this time, Spirit? No, that is not the final message. Messy? It might get messy. That is not the final message. That is just an additional message. It may get messy. Possible part of an accident. Some of you might be part of an accident. I know there was another train accident, but I felt car, but it could be any kind. It could be literally like if you work in a factory, or any kind of warehouse where you have to, you know, shelve items. It could be pitchforks. If you work on a construction site, I'm really sorry if there's an accident and someone gets hurt, but there might be an accident. All right, thank you very much, Spirit, for Virgos. And now finally, our Capricorns. Let's get some 4th house energy for our Capricorns for this spinner's moon. The last full moon of winter. Capricorns, what final messages do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What final messages can I give our Capricorns here, Spirit? Thank you very much. Interesting. Very different energies than the other ones. I can definitely attest to that. All right, thank you, everyone. So I am going to get to your main energy readings, as I was mentioning before. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at this. So start off, the world, which I was mentioning, it's the ending of a cycle, the preparation for a whole new era of your story, of your life. 10 of voices also represents an ending. This is an ending of mental stagnation, kind of mental gaslighting, oppression, self-doubt, right? This is being your own worst enemy. It's like an ending to that. 8 of emotions, honestly, walking away from that kind of mentality, walking away from that lifestyle or lifehood, or always taking the blame for things, possibly, is kind of what I'm also feeling personally right now, is that you might have been bearing a lot of the burden regarding whether it's a workplace, whether it's at home, whether you work in a group, like a research group, whether you are on a team, taking the blame, and it weighs on you. You are unable to process. You don't have the emotional intelligence at this time to deal with that kind of behavior, which is in itself probably propagating, you know, this self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're unable to emotionally cope with it. Almost people see that and they're just, you know, recharging, like they're really, they're unfortunately taking advantage of your insecurities, right? And I feel like you're finally finding a way to walk away from that kind of lifestyle, or physically walk away from that place, or emotionally grow, and you're entering a whole new, you know, statehood of your own, you as being the state, your own agency. Now, it could be a place where you have been for a while. This again could be where you live, as far as family is concerned. This could be where you work. This could be, like I said, some of you are athletes. You probably, like, I only use this as an example because I myself was a competitive athlete, and I played with pretty much the same group of people for, gosh, over probably at least a decade to a little over a decade. And just because you all have and I loved a lot of the girls on that team, and I would still call them my sisters, but there's always, you know, when you're thrown together like that, due to region or skill, you don't choose your teammates, you know, somebody else chooses your teammates, where this is your opportunity to choose your own, you know, group of people. Or you may have had, like when I went to college, oh my God, the girls on my university team were the worst. So many of them were just horrible people. They had a lot of prejudice against me because I came from what they would now consider those liberal West Coast elites. And this was even before that whole fiasco started. So there's just, this could be where you earn your money, but where it's definitely a place that you've been rooted in and stable in, and it's an environment is built around you. This again could just be school, because obviously you're learning skills in school, like whether you lived in the same town, because that's the other thing, you know. I mean, I lived in the same town in the same house from the moment I was born till I left to go to university, you know, when I was almost 19. So there's something here that's changing. You could be graduating high school. You could be leaving a job. You could be leaving a commitment. And I'm not getting marriage commitment. I'm talking about any other type of commitment. And then we have the Queen of Voices. And this is I find very interesting, especially regarding the fact that I was talking about the burdens are coming from this inability to deal with some of the, like, people are just taking things out of you and blaming things for you. You know, they're using their words to hurt you, and they're using like their power of circumstance to hurt you or to diminish you is what is coming through very strongly right now. And because you were unable to know how to deal with it, because you may not have come up in a home environment that taught you the basic skills of how to stand up for yourself, or you if you're in a work environment that is demographically different from how you grew up, you may not feel like you have the right to speak up in certain circumstances, or that people are paying attention. You know, people cut you off or whatever, and you just haven't gotten your power of voice. And let me tell you, this Queen of Voices is incarnate the power of voice. No nonsense, just cuts all this out. Like, literally cuts all this kind of emotional baggage right out of the equation. is overtly highly logic. And like I said, this moon is a rationalization. Like there might be, or Virgo in itself might have the propensity to over rationalize. This isn't over rationalization. This is just strict rationalization, right? Like the way that she approaches things is with a cold strength, a steely strength. Okay, so I'm getting the context steely, right? So I feel like there's a glow up that is going to happen in some sense. This is a glow up moment. I mean, the Queen of Voices isn't like the most powerful queen in the deck. It's not the most powerful, like minor court arcana either. But from what you need right now, the power that you need right now, the energy that you need right now in order to complete this stage. Because I mean, that's the thing about life is, in essence, you have already completed this stage. And you are already living your next best, this next era of your story. It's just you haven't caught up to that relative time in which it's happened. So for this stage, for this movement and change, this is the energy that you need to embody at this time. Now, I feel like that's Libra energy. I'm getting Libra energy, but I'm going to double check first. Just a second. No, it's Gemini energy, which Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So again, there's all this communication energy, and the fact that we got the voices, like when these two came out together, and then there's some more voices down here in Capricorn. There's obviously a story going on where I think you're more affected by this, but also just for very few of you, the person who is bullying you, for some of you, is actually this Queen of Voices, and the advice in this specific context is you need to meet them on your own ground. The only way to defeat a bully is to stand up to them, to take the air out of their breath, right? Stop giving them air to their fire, right? So that, I mean, that's just a secondary message I'm getting for someone specifically, or a couple of you specifically. All right, Earth signs, I am going to go into your inspirational card now. I'm going to ask spirits to bless this message with another message of inspiration. All right. And just cut the deck. Soul family. Soul family. Okay, so I'm feeling like this inspiration, like I was saying, there's some hard times that you've been going through, and it's been a long time. It's someplace where you have been rooted down for a while, and it caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of emotional distress, and a lot of burden, right? And it is about time that you are getting out of that phase in your life, and you are going to be starting this new thing. And I feel like this inspiration, what they're telling you is that don't worry, you will find your soul family. And I highly doubt that a lot of you are manga or anime fans, but there is a character in a manga. The manga is called One Piece. The character is called Robin. And the whole arc of her story is that she grew up being bullied by the children her age around her because she had an abnormality. that made her weird to them. At the same time, she was so highly intelligent that she graduated in her studies at like the age of 9 or something like that. Like she, just highly, highly talented. And her entire support system was destroyed. And people kept attacking her because, there were some people who tried to support her through this pain, but they were taken away from her in a very violent manner. And one of the last things one of the people who tried to help protect her said is, "You will find your family one day." Now, it took her a good 12, 14 years and a lot of running away from people who continued to hurt her, but she found it. So I'm feeling that what this inspirational message is at this time for you is that, yes, hard times are hard. Whatever that lesson is right now for some of you, whatever it is you're going through, the energy is really, like, I don't know if you all are feeling it already. I was feeling it the last 3. I'm not even close to being any earth sign in my chart, pretty much, like almost none. But even I'm feeling the weird energy that's going on around, and I have even doubted my own value in moments. And I think the message is that you will meet the people and the people around you and the situations that provide for you. Let me read directly from the book. Turn it the right side up so you get the full, proper message. All right. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Oh, I didn't even read that earlier. Again, one of the messages I told you earlier, what the Virgo moon represents is not having to do things alone. Don't go it alone. That is just an illusion if you actually believe you ever did do something alone. It is time to call in your soul family and support team. People who get you at soul level. People who are the same kind of weird as you. People who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. If you haven't found them yet, this is a sign that they are close by. But in order for them to find you and recognize you when they do, it is important that you stop dimming your light and truly let yourself be seen. If you have already found them, then you are being called to let them support you and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all types of people, such as therapists, coach, mentors, or healers. Tune in to what kind of support you need now. And I think this is exactly, you may not have them yet, but they're headed your way. This is that World card. The support you're looking for to get you and help you through this, and the fact that they want you to stop dimming your light, you haven't found your voice yet or know how to use your voice yet because you've been unable to emotionally deal with basically the trauma of being, verbally denigrated on a regular basis. That is literally in a place that is foundational that you have to attend, that you have to participate in some way or another. All right, so your guiding mantra for this is just call in your support team now. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful message of inspiration for all you earth signs. I think it's beautiful. Now some of this reading does sound a little bit tragic, and you don't think that very often of earth signs because you wouldn't think that would let them get to you. But everyone is unique, and like I said, maybe Gemini is one of your rising signs or your sun sign. Oh gosh, this hair on my vest. I feel like there's not a specific sign connected to the world. No, yeah, it's just the sign of Earth. So this is also an Earth sign card. All right, thank you very much, my earth signs. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I appreciate all the support if you don't support me already. And don't forget to fast forward in the description to your timestamp for your specific zodiac sign. Love and light. Okay, this is a special addition to the reading because, of course, I couldn't know this until the end. All three of you earth signs, as your advice, got last quarter moon cards. As such, I wanted to share with you all what last quarter moons actually represent because, and I'm going to hold up this card while I read it. These cards signify a conclusion of one kind or another. The energy of these cards is clearing. They're all about sweeping out leftover energetic debris that needs to be released ahead of a new moon, which heralds the start of a new lunar cycle. Last quarter moon cards help you to make way for the new when it comes, which can be sooner than you expect. These cards carry healing crystalline energy, and at each of the last quarter moons, you can choose to hold that energy as you meditate. So each of you, I read a manifestation for you. So that will be definitely like, yes, we repeated it 3 times, but it might be beneficial at this time to, when you can either meditate with it as well, write it down, maybe in your calendar, and then when you wake up in the morning, that's just the first thing you see when you look at it, or maybe a post-it sticker on your fridge or someplace. But maybe your affirmation it's extremely important to you at this time as you move into this new cycle, that's what this card was all representing. All right, thank you again, earth signs. I hope you enjoyed. Love and light. Hello, all right, thank you very much, my Tauruses, for joining back. So here we have this Ace of Inspiration. Ooh, Knight of Inspiration, lovely, and 6 of Emotions. Okay, so yeah, this is, don't let the doubt of your childhood set you back. Don't let it hold you back. Don't let it limit you. Don't let it control you, is what I'm getting with this 6 of Emotions. Is it like not okay? I don't get it as much as this like longing for the past. I'm feeling like there may have been a trauma in the past that's more like you had a dream. You loved something. You wanted something. You had a vision of who you were. You thought you were this person or understood yourself to be this way. And somehow along the way, a person of a higher standing, this could have been a parent, this could have been friends' parents, this could have been grandparents, this could have been an older sibling, told you that don't be ridiculous, you can't do that, or why do you play with bugs, that is so weird, just there could have been something that you were almost traumatized by because you didn't want to be weird, right? You didn't want to be different, and don't let that cloud your judgment, because that may be the blockage. Basically, that is the blockage of why you were stuck in this kind of 10 of voices and 8 of emotions. And it's not that you were stuck there. It's more like you were stuck in the 9 of voices for so long, and you're finally getting to that 10 of emotions. And I think a lot of it comes with possible inner child work. Now, some of you may not be older to participate, not that you have to be a certain age limit, but you have to be of a certain readiness, a certain mindfulness to participate in that early child trauma and that inner child trauma therapy. And some of you definitely might be dealing with that, and it is leading to a whole new outlook on what it is that you can do, what it is that you can offer. I almost feel like you are this Eight of Pentacles, or this Ace of Inspiration, not Ace of Pentacles. It's not even Pentacles in this deck. It's materials. You are this Ace of Inspiration. I don't feel as much that it is something that's coming to you. I feel it is something that you are bringing out into the world. That this service, there is something that you are, this is the service I'm seeing. There's something that you have to offer, and it's amazing. I mean, look at this steed. Freaking, it looks Spanish. It looks like it wants to do the flamenco. Or something like that. I'm just getting so much that as soon as you, like, you're getting over this stage, and I think if you are doing this work, it's like as soon as that happens, as soon as you realize that about yourself, you are just popping. This is that glow up energy I was talking about. There's definitely a new era, and this is that glow up energy I was talking about. I mean, like all those doubts that you had in the past about embodying that thing that made you weird is gone, and you are embracing it. You know, you're running free with a cactus. Like, you're not afraid of catching a burr. And, you know, some of these cactus, like this one, I mean, not as bad. I had one like that. I named it McCain. Some of them that the ones that like activate when it comes in contact, and it'll like curl into your skin so you can't get it out without unhooking it. Like, that's not this kind of cactus, but you're still willing to, you know, ride amongst the cactus, ride in the desert, you know, ride through the things that might prick you. And I think it's that confidence. I think people are going to be seeing you like this beautiful horse. They're going to be so surprised by, like, it's one of those instances where I feel like if you go back to your high school reunion, you know, later in life, people are like, oh my God, I don't even recognize you. Like, weren't you blah, blah, blah? Like, you know, like, didn't you do yada, yada? And they're like, weren't you that weird girl that, or weren't you that weird guy that, or, you know, it's like, no, you are coming into, and some of it I think is also has to do with you finding that soul family. They help you realize your beauty and your potential. This group of people that just complete you and see you for not the weird person that you are. Because there's nothing weird about, let's say this person wanted to be Amelia Earhart. Like, why couldn't she fly around the world? Like Bessie. I think Bessie was her name. It's a black woman who quit her job or quit the lifestyle that she was leading and took pilot lessons and, you know, bought a plane and was the first black woman to have a pilot's license. I mean, no, yes, people called her weird, but eventually she said, no, that's who I am. That's what I want. I'm gonna do it. Right. And it's beautiful. Like, this is great. This is this new beginning. This is this new you, right? The ending of the cycle, the beginning of the cycle. This isn't the Fool energy. Because there's a lot of some of this that you knew was potentially there. You knew it was inside you because you could see it, you could feel it. You were just repressing it for so long. And now you're in an environment where you don't have to repress it. Like, because of this specifically, also, I'm getting Native American, like the story, you know, I recently read Lakota Woman as well. And the whole, like, there's certain civil rights groups that their movement was to literally, they wanted to be a part of the society that was already in existence and formulated by the white European male, right? That was the predominant echelon of hierarchy in society. And so all these civil rights movements attempted to just be allotted a position to participate in this hierarchy. And the Native American movement, so the AIM, the American Indian movement, they didn't want to be part of the hierarchy. They wanted the right to return to their own natural ways. And I feel a little bit of that is your story, a return to who you are. You're not trying to enter into the hierarchy that exists within the society, because that has been what has been repressing your uniqueness, your you-ness, right? In the way that it's playing out in this position. And because you were an earth sign, that seven of material is normally very important to you. That role in the material world, in the social structure and social dynamic. And what I think you're starting to realize is there are different ways in which that can perform in life. You can still be an active participant in society and a positive participant in society as a whole, but you don't have to succumb to the standards of the social situation that was built around you, right? You can create one of your own that fits into a same moralistic, idealistic, hierarchical standard, right? That's beautiful. I think this is amazing. This, even, I mean, the Six of Emotions, like this Ace of Inspiration, this Knight of Materials. Because, I mean, it's still, whatever it is, you'll still have a very strong self, a very strong community, very healthy relationship with the things around you. So, in some essence, I mean, it'll still, like, you will always, your path will always keep you stable. Right? You will always find a way to, like, being yourself, a comfort. It'll provide a comfort of material for you. Material being. All right. My beautiful, oh, I don't want to do it that way. My beautiful Taurus. I am going to get an advice card now. I'm not sure it's going to be advice on how to get through the situation, or advice as what's coming to you in the future, or advice on the next steps, or what it's going to be. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this situation, right, Taurus? All right. All right. So, your advice, Taurus, is the last quarter moon in Scorpio. Is it focusing? Reveal what needs to be seen. Ah, isn't that so fitting? Reveal what needs to be seen. What have you been repressing? What, like, allow people to see that part of you. It is beautiful. Just because at some point in time someone made you feel uncomfortable about you and the way you acted, or the things you said, or what you were interested in, or what you wore, or how you spoke, or, you know, what people you liked to hang out with, you know, now's the time to be comfortable and let the world see it. Let yourself shine, almost, okay? I am going to read directly from the book, of course, as always, so you get a full, clear picture as to what Spirit is trying to tell you. I don't want to tell you anything wrong. It's towards the end. Okay. So, reveal what needs to be seen. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. There are some things that people just don't like to talk about. Drawing this card suggests there's an issue or situation in your life now that might not be easy to air. Or perhaps you feel that you shouldn't air it. That's fine. Now is the time for you to reveal only what you want to be seen. Don't feel the need to discuss everything with everyone. Some matters require discretion. The less codependent you are, the better chance you have of getting what you want. I think that's really beautiful too, because it's like, obviously there is a situation around you in which not everybody is appreciative of the uniqueness that you are, or the you that wants to be. So you know, the advice is you don't need them. You don't need their approval. You don't need their feedback. What is it? Like unsolicited advice. You don't need their unsolicited advice. So just stop involving them in your life. Stop involving them in your conversations. And definitely stop involving them in your dreams, in your hopes, right? I mean, you may just pick up and move without telling any one of them, like, oh, bye. You know? That's fine. I also get, I only got a small message there. Some of you might have been repressing your sexual orientation because you actually live in or with people that believe that that is in some way, shape, or form a sin that is punishable by, I don't know, punishable, whatever, stoning. Actually, there's a lot of things that are punishable by stoning in some areas, which is crazy. But that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so before we end out, I am going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths. On the last breath, I want you to close your eyes. And then at the end of that breath, I want you to repeat your affirmation with me, either out loud or to yourself 3 times. So take a deep breath in. Make the intention that this time is for you. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Release all that negative energy out. And then deep breath in, close your eyes. Release. Now repeat. I know that dramas now are healing crises. I know that dramas now are healing crises. I know that dramas now are healing crises. I don't know if I want to say crises. All right. Thank you very much, my Taurus. Don't forget to check out the short meditation at the end of this video. Love and light. Hello. Welcome back, Virgo. So this is your moon. This is your reading. Let's see what we have. Ooh, we have a beautiful Empress. Empress energy here. Interesting. We have the 4 of materials. And we have the wheel. Wheel of fortune. Okay, so interesting. We have the wheel, number 10. We have the world, kind of, it's not double. Like, it is ending out this cycle. This is usually the halfway mark. And it's a sign of good fortune, of things to come. And the 10 of voices is also the 10 in this part of the deck. It is the ending of a cycle. The Empress is, very selective of, the Empress will obviously nurture, and it has the ability to, energize and feed and make things grow, to blossom from its womb, but it's very selective in what it wants to nurture. It can't just be emitting its energy, and like a forest, like now there's psilocybulin. But forest, there's a certain language in the forest, the way that all the organisms and organic material in life, in some way, psilocybin networks. Okay, that they communicate with each other. That if there is a part of the forest that is sick, they try to shut off all the life force to nurture it in order to save the rest of the force. So they almost, they force it to retire early. They send their old people out on a boat and they let them die on the ocean like the Eskimos. No, but that is pretty much in order to save itself, it cuts off a limb of the forest, right? That's what the Empress can do. So the Empress is very selective in where to direct its energy so it is being useful. it doesn't want to just try and save the whole forest and then wasting enough more energy that not only did you lose the part that was sick, but the sickness was able to spread, and then you didn't have enough power to nurture the rest of it. So it's the Empress, it can be very nurturing, but it's very selective in its nurturing, right? Like even in the symbol, you see there are some planets that are fully drawn in. I don't want to talk, I'm sorry. You don't want to see my chin speaking. But then there's these that are just transparent because she doesn't have the energy to fuel them all. The sun can only, heat so many of the planets, provide life on so many of the planets from that distance. Very interesting. This is the first time that I've connected the sun with the Empress. And Empress is represented by Venus, which I'm pretty sure is Mercury is obviously, but why do I feel like is the moon? I'm not sure. Okay. Because the moon is the 4th house. And I believe the 4th house is ruled by Venus. Okay. So very interesting that story came through. And what's really, before I even get to this, what drew me, it seems really random to me. There's this camel in the background. Like, what? You're looking at this, does she look like she's in a desert? Does she look like someone who's about to ride on a camel? What? And it's a single hump camel? So, it's random, and I'm getting very humorous, random energy right now. With this, as far as something in your life, something in the background that you're just like, what? Random? That might be a sign. It might be a sign for something happening. When you see, I don't know, I'm pretty sure cigarette companies cannot legally advertise anymore in the United States. So there's no, there's Camel cigarettes, you're not going to see a Camel cigarette ad anywhere or something like that. But some reason, I feel like if you see a camel, it's a sign that you're on the right path. Whatever you're doing at that time, I don't feel like it's directly connected to this specific portion of the reading. I think that if it is connected to anything, it's kind of, because this is all about this new era in your life, right? This reading is talking about this overall energy, and for you, it's really about where you want to disperse your energy. You need to stop trying to nurture it all, stop trying to service it all. Because this is the 6th house is health, wellness, and work and service. So, stop trying whatever service you feel like you're participating in order to support either a community or standing or anything like that. It's time to assess, what you actually can or cannot do. Now, you've had great prosperity doing this work, but it seems to there's something about it that's stagnating. I don't know. It's very interesting. You got the Wheel of Fortune, which is great fortune and great prosperity, yet at the same time you have the 4 of Materials, which is very stagnant, very stubborn, very pinching penny. What is the other word that people use to describe? Frugal. Very frugal lifestyle. Like I live very frugally at this point in time. Of course, I don't have a lot of expenses, but I don't have kids or cars or anything like that, or a house. So I don't have as much spending. Now, I'm feeling like, yes, you are the Empress in this case, and that there is too much energy going to other things. And I think maybe that's what's draining. Like, you're just not growing. You're not growing. But at the same time, I've got this Wheel of Fortune here. So it's almost like I'm getting a message that you're lucky this hasn't happened yet. You're lucky, you haven't had a heart attack, or you're lucky that you haven't had to take diabetes meds, or you're lucky that you haven't injured yourself, like by overexhausting, or you're lucky you haven't gotten into a car crash yet. I'm getting this kind of like you've been pushing, like the amount of energy you've been giving out, and considering how little return you have been getting on your investment, is saying you're lucky that you're pushing your luck. You're pushing your luck is what I'm feeling with this together. I'm not feeling that, oh, lucky you, something good is coming your way. Like, I'm getting more like, which is this is still very lucky. The fact that the spirits have been protecting you from whatever bad possibly could have happened, because you are over exerting yourself in too many different areas, so you're not paying attention to the little things, and the little things are what might be causing problems. Like, you're not paying attention enough to what you're eating. You're not paying attention enough to your surroundings. You're not paying attention enough to your sleep cycle. They're just small things that you're not paying enough attention to, and you're lucky that it hasn't caused more damage. And you have all this. It is time to turn it around, and you'll be giving the opportunity to turn it around, right? This leaving, purging this energy, so you can get to this next stage in your life, right? Because again, it's feeling like it's stagnating your growth. And what I feel like seeing a camel, again, I'm going to say it again, like seeing a camel in some way around you, it's either telling, like when you see the camel, I would stop, slow down, take a breath. It could help. It could stop you from tripping on the sidewalk, or, like maybe you spend too much time to TikToking, or looking at your phone or something like that. There's just like times when you need to be more aware of your surroundings. Like this one is all about knowing your surroundings, because you've been used to them for living in them for so long. But it's like you're just overexerting yourself, and you're lucky at this point in time that that things aren't worse. Basically. All right, Virgo. Very interesting. So the Empress is what I said, ruled by Venus. I believe, what did I say was the Venus is ruled by, Moon is, I forget what I said, but okay, so Venus, the wheel, I will let you know, the wheel. Where is the wheel? Sorry, I need to... Jupiter! It's represented by Jupiter energy, which I like. That is, can be very lucky energy. But in this context, I think it is definitely saying more like you're lucky that, you haven't broken a leg yet, right? All right. Thank you very much, Virgo. I'm going to give you advice now from the universe. Yep. Oh, Virgo. Sticking with the theme as the fact it's a Virgo moon. This card is Virgo. You've got a Virgo card here. So this is the new quarter moon? No, the last quarter moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. See, like I was getting, is you are not paying attention to the little things. Like, you're trying to exert too much energy in too many different places, and you're not paying attention to the little things, and you're lucky that whatever mistakes that you have made haven't gotten you into bigger doo-doo so far. And this could be, you know, I mean, tax season is coming up. You may be doing your taxes right now. This is advice. If you're doing your taxes, pay attention to what you're filling out, okay? That's just a side. I mean, if you're in the United States, they're doing your taxes. I'm not sure. I mean, I used to do my taxes every year in Germany, but they don't care if you file your taxes as much every year, because if you don't file, then you're not getting your money back. You know, just depending on, they're not the IRS. Let's just put it this way: they don't have the IRS, because people, you have to pay. You know, you pay your taxes there. In the U.S., you don't really pay any loopholes for rich people. Okay, so the last quarter moon in Virgo. But yeah, it could literally be like putting your blinker on when you're changing lanes. Okay, that's a big one. Attend to the details. It would be lovely to think that manifesting means just snapping your fingers and magically making everything better. However, there's more to it than that. Past worries, mean comments, self-doubt, and fears need to be dealt with before you can start to feel good. Oh, what were we talking about this entire reading? Right? Okay. A tedious task may need to be taken care of before you can move forward and make the magic happen. Again, that's exactly the theme. Worries slow down your ability to make magic. So attend to the details, then you can have fun. Again, attending to the details, like knowing your energy, how to use your energy, right? Okay. Or even on this wheel, maybe be appreciative that things could have been worse, right? You know, that's one of the lessons we all learn about all our situations, because, you know, at times we just think our situation is oh so tragic and no one else will understand me or has gone through. You know, there's a lot of people in this world and a lot of people feel hardships. And just being appreciative sometimes yours isn't as bad as it could be. Now, I want you to take 3 deep breaths and calm yourself. On the last breath, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And then once you're done with your last deep breath exhalation, I'm going to ask you to repeat this affirmation with me. So go ahead and take that first deep breath in. Set the intention that this time is for you. Let it go. Take a deep breath in. Release all that negative energy. Close your eyes, deep breath in. And release. Now repeat. I am guided and protected by the divine. I am guided and protected by the divine. I am guided and protected by the divine. Now, some of you may have a rising or sun sign in Scorpio. If so, that is just another confirmation. And be on the lookout for that camel. All right, thank you very much, Virgo, for joining. Don't forget to check the short meditation out at the end of this video. Love and light. Hello, welcome back to me, Capricorn. We have your individual full moon in Virgo reading. Now, very inspiration, we have the 6 of Voices, which is, I love seeing the 6 of Voices and the 8 of Emotions coming out together. I think that shows great, like, consistency with the direction that you're heading. And it also tells me that not only are you ready to move on to a certain point, but that you are supported by spirit and they are pushing you forward. And the thing about when somebody pushes you forward, they are always there to catch you if you fall or trip, because they're standing right behind you, right? Then we have the 3 of Inspiration. And we have the 4 of Voices, which can be, yeah, a little in between. Now with this 3 of Inspiration, I'm going to go to this real quick, because what I'm feeling with this one is that this is something that you have tried to work through before. Like, because you have been in this situation so long, so you have already taken steps at some point in time to try and deal with this hurt and this pain and this, just the weight of this negativity and burden, right? Like, I feel like you have, you put in some of the work before, but it just, either it wasn't the time, you weren't ready, you didn't have the confidence. It's always a slow moving when it comes to these deep moments in your life where you are shifting from one phase of your existence to another phase of your existence. It always takes work. And sometimes we have to learn the lesson more than once in order to truly learn from it. And what I'm seeing here is that, like, these dominoes have all been set up, and so you can click the first one and it follows a clear path to an end. Except here, there's a gap in the middle. So this domino will not make contact with that domino, which means your path and your momentum could not complete itself, right? So I feel like there was a time when you tried to do this and it didn't work, you know? And I feel that this time you're ready to take that journey. Like, you've gotten through this first leg of the race, right? And now you're ready to bridge that gap, step over that hurdle, and continue moving through life. Continue forth. You are a force that needs to be reckoned with, right? You're ready to be that person. And again, like I said, these are your spirit guides. You know, you're standing on this ledge. You've crossed these trials and they're ready to support you. And you're walking that path. And like I said again, and you know, it's all about the community around you, not doing things alone. I think even just by you accepting the fact that you're not alone in this journey, that sometimes you get those feelings like you don't know why you do, but all of a sudden you're like, I can do this. I got this. Like, you don't know where the confidence came from or how you got through a situation, but you did. And I think you need to start realizing and accepting the fact that the reason you got through it is because most likely you had guides around you and spirit around you, or the divine in some way, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, that was literally there surging the energy through you to help you through that, you know, situation. And again, I mean, with this 4 of Voices in completion with this 10 of Voices, like, there was a lot of restless, sleepless nights. And in some sense, by me seeing this right now in this way, I feel that you're finally you're going to be able to, and I don't want to say it's like you're going to automatically, like, you're going to sleep through every night without insomnia. You're not going to wake up terrified. You're not going to have night terrors or night sweats or anything like that. I don't want to put absolutes on any kind of statement like that. But honestly, what I'm feeling is that reoccurring dream that possibly that you've been having, that you just wake up with a heightened level of anxiety, a heightened sense of anxiousness, I believe that is gone. I believe you are going to be able to walk the dreamscape without fear of a nightmare, those nightmares. I think you are going to be able to release, like the petals, like these petals just in the water, release all those worries and those dreams. Like, I remember in college, when I worked, I worked myself through college by serving at a local brewery, and it would get packed in there, and our sections were quite large considering, and I would have dreams of the stupid POS system. And I know POS, you know, can be a piece of fork of cheddar or shit. But they're the personal operating systems, you know, for restaurants. And it would drive me nuts. In the dream, every dream it was, I had tables, obviously, and I would go up to take their order, and to go put in their drinks, to get them their drinks, and I love that tarot readings end up being my life stories. And then all of a sudden, I go to get the drinks, and I go back to the table with the drinks, and my manager had already run the drinks. So I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me? Now I just wasted that time. So I had to go back to the computer to ring in their food items. And in order to put their order in the computer, I would have to play like trivia games to try and beat the computer so I could put the order in the system. And I used to wake up just with so much frustration and anxiety because, I could never, I'm trying to accomplish this goal and it's not working, and now I'm getting in the weeds and people are going to be upset and I'm going to get in trouble and da 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 da. So I feel like these anxiety dreams that you're having are going to be in the past. I think that is one large part of moving on to this next stage in your life, and the ability for, like I said, you weren't emotionally mature enough to deal with these situations. What this is saying to me, these two things, is that one of the things that is changing about this new era about you is you are going to be able to emotionally deal with these stressful situations in a much more healthy manner that is going to actually improve your sleep habits. Not habits, I guess habits, but in general, it's going to improve your sleep. You are going to actually enjoy dreaming, and you might actually, you may be that person that say, I don't ever remember my dreams, but you most likely wake up with a certain emotion on some days over others. Like you wake up like, I don't know why I'm so irritated. I just woke up irritated. Like some people say, oh, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And people say, why? And you're like, I don't know. And most likely it's because you are unconsciously not remembering your dream, or you're not conscious of your dream, but subconsciously it is there affecting you. So even then, so those of you, you may actually start remember some of your dreams. The rest of you who distinctively remember these dreams that cause you anxiety, whether it's, showing up at school naked, or I'm assuming now, if you're younger, a lot of the anxiety is going to come from somebody posting something about you online and not being able to take it back or delete it or anything like that. So, whatever it is for this era, I believe that you're going to be able to sleep better because you have gained the emotional maturity to deal with some of the hardships. And I see you really leaping, like I said, like this opportunity, this lesson, you're achieving it this time, right? All right, Capricorn, let's get you a advice card. Not feeling. Nope, let me try again. Okay. This is last quarter moon in Leo. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought this one for you, Capricorn. Actually, but it is. As far as advice goes, this is a good one for Capricorn. Just lighten up. Now, I could get that, like I said earlier, earth signs can be the ones that, make the list of how to do something, and you try and use logic. Logic is good. Logic is great. I as a researcher, I enjoy logic. It's just in your personal life, it's illogical to think that you can logically accomplish all emotional, overcome emotional barriers in a logical sense. You have to be able to say that emotions are illogical, therefore, understanding that's the only logical outcome that can come from trying to address emotional issues, is saying that I cannot logically do that, right? Or logically I cannot accomplish that in a set of, like a logic pattern. Okay, so last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. I will read from the book, obviously, but again, that message I'm just getting here is, you know, this is going to take, it's not, then it's not saying like, oh, just chill out, like, God, don't get so emotional, lighten up, man. No, it's saying that trying to be too list prone, like I said, before, like you're that person that wants this accomplished by this date or this age, or it has to fulfill this prospectus, like you just allow for a little forgiveness with yourself, right? It doesn't have to be so. Now, yes, this is the Weaver's moon, but it's like weaving that story together. There are times threads break, okay? Adapt, right? Sometimes those threads break for a good reason. It wasn't strong enough to hold the thread, right? Okay, so this is last quarter moon. All of these are last quarter moons, actually. Very interesting. 114. All right. Last quarter moon in Leo. What's happening for you right now can turn out well, but you need to find a balance between the light and the dark of the situation. Exactly. Get in touch with some lighter and happier feelings to clear away any energetic debris that may have grown out of your fears. That said, this isn't about glossing over any dramas and pretending all is well if it isn't. A positive attitude towards life now will help clear away any upsets. All right, so now I'm going to ask you to slow your breath down. I want you to take 3 deep breaths with me. On your last breath, I want you to close your eyes. And then after your last exhale, I'm going to ask you to repeat your affirmation after me 3 times, either to yourself or silently. Look at that woman. She's actually in water, right? I'm pretty sure she's naked too. Lighten up. Okay, so deep breath in. Set the intention that this time is for yourself. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Release all negativity. Now close your eyes. Last deep breath in. And release. When I forgive myself, I set myself free. When I forgive myself, I set myself free. When I forgive myself, I set myself free. Now, I think there's one just last thing I want to mention upon reading that affirmation is I think that's an important point to make is that, like, you're going to achieve this ending, this new era of your life, and you're going to get to this new place. And I don't want you to get to that new place and in that place be upset at your old self for not getting there sooner. Okay? Like for not getting it on the first try. No, that will only set you back. Do not do that to yourself. That is just an extra advisory warning that I'm getting for someone specifically. All right. Thank you very much, Capricorn. Right after this is a short meditation. And if you enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe, or comment in the section below. Love and light. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focus in on the sounds.